Hi, this is Keeper, and welcome to On Air, Monday, November 21st, 2011. Today, we continue our look at politics and its influence on direct selling as we investigate the Direct Selling Women's Alliance, the DSWA, and ask the question, with so many hot-button topics and issues being discussed in our politics that are impacting the women from coast to coast, why doesn't the DSWA, the association that represents all the women in direct selling, say anything, make a stance, make a statement about anything? We're very curious. We also introduce our news segment, the Direct Selling Big News Story of the Day. Have we got a news story for you as two potential associations look to merge? We'll be right back. Hi, and welcome back to On Air. As we continue our look at politics and its influence in direct selling, and this is going to be a continuing theme for some time because politics impacts our industry so much in ways a lot of you have absolutely no idea. It impacts decision making by executives at companies. It impacts the decision-making process at our associations. It also has a tremendous impact on how our distributors not only look at their business, but look at their everyday lives. It is, because of the 2012 presidential election, a topic we're going to be discussing for quite some time. For those of you who don't know, come January 2nd, DirectSellingLive will introduce its direct selling politics as we have 6 political bloggers from the community of direct selling who will be blogging for 12 months. An independent, a libertarian, a progressive liberal, and a Tea Party. We have Kelly Foote, who will be representing the Tea Party. We have Gene Bronstein, who will be representing and blogging on issues as they impact direct selling from the progressive liberal side. Sole Purpose's Ruth Webster will be the independent, and Avon's superstar Lisa Wilbur, who happens to be a politician in her own right. Yes, she is a politician out of New Hampshire, will be blogging for the libertarians. We're looking for 3 other bloggers. We're looking for, if you could find 2 people who fit this category, a mainstream Democrat and a mainstream Republican. And we're also looking for someone who's 18 to 24. We want the youth market to be represented in our blogging. All this takes place on January 2nd, Direct Selling Live Politics. As most of you know, we broke the story last week on the DSA's Political Action Committee. It's the committee the Direct Selling Association doesn't want distributors to know about. We were able to, fortunately, get a conversation with DSA President Joe Mariano, as he called me, to talk about that particular story. He wanted to make sure that I had some of the facts right, and also just wanted to discuss more about the Political Action Committee that the DSA has. His wish is that more distributors knew about it, because what they would like to do is have a greater voice, be more effective when it comes to public policy debates. The DSA would love to have more of a foothold in the public policy debates as it relates to issues that impact direct sellers and direct selling companies. With that said, as I look at the DSWA, the Direct Selling Women's Alliance, I have to ask the question, with an industry that's represented by over 85% women, how is it that the Direct Selling Women's Alliance does not say anything when it comes to politics or when it comes to the public policy debate? Women's rights here in the United States are, in my opinion, going backwards. The right to choose, the right for women to make their own decisions, we're seeing once again a cap on wages as they relate to women. Instead of rising more rapidly or in line with men, they're actually going backwards. I think these are issues that the DSWA, even though they're in direct selling and would prefer people to look at themselves as entrepreneurs, should realize that these people also have everyday jobs. It's not very many of us that do direct selling as a part-time, as a full-time business. Most people do it as a part-time business to make extra money. In fact, the average distributor makes about $200 a month. This is the figure that has been reported by the DSA. With so many issues at stake, how is it that the largest association representing women have absolutely nothing to say? In 2008, DirectSellingLive did a 4-part expose on politics in direct selling, where we looked at direct selling associations, direct selling distributors, direct selling companies, and then we kind of put it all together. We contacted the DSA, the DSWA, and the MLMIA. And the DSA, we were very, very fortunate that Amy Robinson over at the DSA actually granted the interview for us, and we were absolutely pleased that she did that because she didn't have to. The MLMIA, they decided not to respond, as did the DSWA. And we basically came with them with the same question we're asking them today. With so many women's issues being hot topic issues, how can you not say something? You represent women in direct selling. And them not saying anything, I just had to scratch my head and said, how can they not do this? 85% of distributors are women. If any association in direct selling can stand up and talk about women's issues, it's the DSWA. But they decided not to. In 2010, DirectSellingLive did the very first study on women in the boardroom. Since that time, of course, Direct Selling News has come out with a recent issue talking about women in the boardroom, something that they never did before. But once again, they follow my lead. But what we found was this. With 85% of the foot soldiers, the people on the ground doing the business, with 85% of the women who buy 8 to 1 the number of products compared to men, who sell 8 to 1 the number of products compared to men, how is it that women only are represented in direct selling boardrooms 23% to 77%? Where did we get this figure? Well, we looked at Direct Selling News past issues for 5 years, because it's really difficult to really just kind of do all of that as it relates to women in the boardroom without having a baseline to start. Direct Selling News, they have a lot of pictures, and they identify who people are through these pictures. We looked at those. We looked at their people moving from place to place. I believe it's called executive movement or something like that. And we found that 77% of all the people identified in their magazine in executive positions were men. 23% were women. It just didn't make any sense to me. When we asked the DSWA to make a comment on what they thought about that figure, they once again balked. They once again decided they did not want to participate. I'm baffled. I don't understand. Their mission says, our mission is to make an authentic difference in your direct selling career and your life. That's the primary mission of the DSWA. I think at some point the DSWA is going to have to get involved in not only the public policy debate, but in public policy debate as it relates to the direct selling community. They're the ones who can do it. In fact, they're the ones who can help more than any the DSA do what they need to do in Washington. They're a natural ally. When I come back, we're going to share some of the comments and look at some of the things that the DSWA has done, or even better, has not done, that could have been effective and could position them in a much stronger position if they would only speak out on women's issues as it relates to direct selling and beyond. I'll be back in a second. In every way possible, tangible or otherwise, the DSWA is devoted to the development of your personal power and ultimate prosperity. As you look into the DSWA's mission statement, you see more and more of what it is that they want to do and more of what they're trying to do. That is one of the lines in their mission statement. In every way possible, tangible or otherwise, the DSWA is devoted to the development of your personal power and ultimate prosperity. Last week I called DSWA co-founder Nikki Kihoho, and asked her if she would be willing to take a couple of minutes to discuss women's issues as they relate politically here in direct selling. I've known Nikki for almost 10 years. She and Grace and Jane, Jane Duber, who started the DSWA, I just love them dearly. I think they do a fantastic job. They have a tremendous amount of work that they do. I think they could be more effective if they took a stand or began to look at how much power they could actually bring to the forefront as it relates to women in direct selling. They could help spearhead a movement here in direct selling that could go well beyond direct selling and into the global space as well. 85% of all direct sellers are women. There needs to be a voice. As Joe Mariano, president of the DSA, said, we want to have better and more effective conversation on public policy debates here in Washington. Well, the way to do that and be more effective with it is to somehow come together with your natural ally. That would be the DSWA. When I told Nikki that we're going to be doing a story looking at DSWA and what they've been doing politically or not been doing politically, that we're going to start the story Monday, today, she did not have time to come on air. She said she'd have to do it later this week, and I certainly hope that she does do that, because a number of women in the past year or so have asked, what is it that the DSWA is bringing us besides just training? And I think what they're looking for is leadership. They're looking for leadership as it relates to women's issues, issues in their home, so that they can be stronger and be better represented, not only from a distributor standpoint, but from the executive standpoint. For the DSWA to constantly not make any statement, to me it's a troubling trend. It's as if they're protecting their position. It's as if they are not willing to step out and speak for women or give women a platform that allows them to speak about issues politically. Because we're so diverse, of course, politics can be a very divisive conversation. But what in direct selling isn't a divisive conversation? Race, religion, sexual orientation, any of these issues are divisive. However, they are who we are. They represent who we are. It is the fabric that makes up direct selling. As we say, we are an industry for anyone and everyone as long as you're 18 years of age. With that said, the number of voices that can speak and support issues as they relate to direct selling, so we can take them to politicians who can then speak on our behalf, is very, very powerful. But we need to have those people, those leaders or the associations that are willing to take the step to make that happen. The DSA is trying to with their political action committee. I'm certainly hopeful that they will spend more time trying to make distributors aware of it. I'm not suggesting by any stretch that the DSWA make a political action committee. What I am suggesting is that they begin to look deeper into who they are and what they could possibly be. They don't need to just be an association that does trainings and puts together products and does events. They can help lead and spearhead a movement for women in direct selling. I think women need it. I think women are craving it. They're seeing what's happening to themselves every day and they're not liking it. Will you have a number of challenges within your constituency? Of course you will. But there's one thing that everyone can agree on, and that's that we all want a better life for ourselves and our children. Women need to be better represented. They need to have better opportunities. If the goal is to make women or just any distributor think about, or prospect think about, okay, let's get away from the job and look at direct selling as a way to make extra money, I don't think that's a winning proposition. I think direct selling should augment, should add to, or enhance someone's life. As the DSA pointed out, the average distributor makes $200 a month. So the women that are in direct selling, for the most part, just want an extra $200 to $300 to $400 a month. That's it. They're not one of the 1%. They're not going to be or trying to be one of the 1% that want the full-time $5, $10, $20, $30, $50,000 a month. The same goes for the men. That's no different. Most men just want to make some extra money. They're not looking for the huge payday. So for the DSA, DSWA, as I said, it's troubling that they don't say anything. I think DSA President Joe Mariano had it best when he said he wants to have a better conversation in the public policy debate. The DSA, DSWA, they're natural allies, and I think they should look to work together. Even if they don't, the DSWA should take steps to make themselves a larger voice politically for women in direct selling, and that will spill over into the everyday lives of women in direct selling. If they don't, the largest, most powerful association in direct selling for women, if they refuse to respond to questions about major political issues facing women in direct selling, and they're still only interested in trainings and selling businesses, if that's all you want to do, you're going to miss the opportunity. And someone will create the association for women that does step up and speak for them. For until they step up or get involved in the public policy debate, the DSWA will continue to be viewed as a training, product developing, and events association. When I come back, we're going to be looking at the big direct selling story of the day. Two associations potentially coming together? We'll see. Can you hear it? Can you hear the rumblings? Shh, quiet, hold on. Ooh. There's the pounding of movement in the association world of direct selling. Two associations coming closer and closer together. Is that possible? Yeah, it is possible. We've recently learned that the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, the ANMP, has been in discussions with the Multi-Level Marketing International Association, possible merger talks, to bring these two associations together so that they can be more effective as one. I think it might be a good idea. There are some issues that they need to work out. There are some, the typical issues: who's going to run it, who's going to be in charge, how does it work. Will this actually come to fruition? I don't know. In a lot of ways, their statements, their missions are completely at odds with each other. But I think it's quite possible that a merger like this might make them a strong association so that they can be effective. Both are struggling right now. The Multi-Level Marketing International Association, they have been around for 25 years. Doris Wood has been doing a fantastic job. But Doris Wood has been around for 52, 53 years in direct selling, can't maintain the MLMIA on her own, which is kind of what she's doing right now. She just lost her wingman, Dale Hickman. The ANMP, they have issues, I've been told, with integrity. They have issues with what it is that they're really trying to do. So there may be the need for some weeding out, some movement, some moving out would probably be a better way of putting it, of people over there. Can they bring value to the direct selling community? Well, that remains to be seen. But I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for both, because I think without a merger, neither one will survive much longer. That's our show for today. Hope you come back tomorrow. We're going to be in on a short week. We're only going to be on air with new shows today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday's Thanksgiving. We'll be taking the day off, as we will on Friday, as we recover from Thursday. And, of course, we have Saturday and Sunday. Have a fantastic day. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. This is Keeper with On Air. See you later.